how do you get dumber than this right out of the gate? Well, you go to a wonderful combination of concepts from our current Five Eggs champion and captain of the Dum Dum Squad, Dan Bongino, who's looking for a teepee for his bunghole. And he's going to jump straight to Super Jew right in the title, kids. Soros is funding chaos and disorder across America, media are silent. Okay, first of all, it's in caps, chaos and disorder, which is, by the way, I'd have to, let me grab this real quick if I may. If you haven't heard it, I'm going to bring up the graphic because it matters. Whoops! Oh shit! I'm in the wrong. God! I keep typing in the wrong window. Right. But I'll be with you in just a moment. Thank you. Don't go Karen on me. Thanks. The album Chaos and Disorder by Prince, just a fantastic record. Highly recommend it. Love it dearly. One of my favorite kind of sleeper hit albums in my Prince repertoire. Dinner with Dolores is hilarious. Chaos and Disorder, many of you may know 01, my band. We've played that live a couple of times because we love it. I Like It There, Right the Wrong. Here's a full... Dig You Better Dead is terrific. Xanali is lovely. The Same December. I mean, it's just great. I Like It There is classic Prince, by the way, if you know what I'm saying. So, anyways, apparently George Soros is buying everyone in America a copy of Prince's album Chaos and Disorder. Hooray! I'm kidding. It's not. It's obviously he's trying to destroy the country. And luckily, Dan Bongino is on it. He's got 3 minutes and 53 seconds to explain to us how Soros is funding. He's paying for it, cash out of his pocket. Chaos and Disorder across America, and nobody's talking about it, which is why I think his name is Dan Bongino. I can't tell from the graphics. We'll find out in a second. Maybe he'll say his name. Maybe he'll, I don't know. It's lost on me. We'll see.
Well, George Soros is back again.
Is he back? In your living rent-free in your forehead?
Carlson did a segment on George Soros last night in his show.
Oh, I see. So that's so basically we know where you get where your table scrap ideas come from is if Tucker Carlson covers it. Tucker Carls it. I like it if he Carls it. It's his way of shaping a story. He Carls it. He basically can polish gold until it turns into a turd. If Tucker Carlson does a story, then Bongino can just pick it up the next day and go, ooh, I don't even have to think tomorrow. This is so sweet.
Something that's going on in Austin, Texas. Why would George Soros care about Austin, Texas? Because Soros and his organizations apparently have some interest in fighting against measures to fund the police because chaos is a weapon for the left.
Geniuses in the city.
Oh, so we're now just playing clips from Tucker now on Bongino show. It's a twofer of dum-dums. This is great, by the way. The Soros effect, crime scene, is, by the way, hats off to Fiverr. Once again, Austin police stop responding to non-emergencies, and Soros is paying for it. He's financing them not doing it. We'll find out. I'm sure there's an answer deep inside this somewhere that explains everything.
I like wood.
About this
deeper and longer.
This detail. I'm sure at some point we will figure it out.
I like wood.
In general.
Deeper and longer.
Okay, so we'll see.
Of Austin, Texas last year cut the city's police budget. Now the police have announced they are not able to respond to crimes that are non-emergencies, meaning if the perpetrator...
Dan, turn your mic off, dum-dum. You're clearing your throat over Tucker, which I'm sure you do a lot, actually. So never mind. I take it back. Hold on. Listen to that.
They are not able to respond to crimes that are non-emergency.
Classy. Stay classy, Dan.
meaning if the perpetrator has already left the scene.
If he farts, I'm out of this clip 100%. Well, if it's SBD, that's on his crew. But if he makes noise, if believe me, if you, just for the record, if you hear during this clip, it's Dan Bongino forgetting to shut his mic off.
If you are experiencing a non-emergency call, and I will be going over specifically the ones that we have changed, then what we ask that you do is...
Hold on. What do you think the chances... Well, let's see if Tucker actually lists the non-emergency calls they're specifically talking about. Because I don't think they're going to consider like breaking and entering and trespassing necessarily as non-emergency calls. It's good, it's going to be like, oh, kids are pissing on my begonias again.
To report those either over the phone by calling 311 or by
the non-emergency call line.
Get it online at ireportaustin.com.
In other words, we're no longer going to fulfill the most basic duty of government, which is to...
Bullshit. Hold on. Let's see. Austin police no longer a non-emergency calls list of... All right. Okay. Let's see what these are. There's the... Okay, here we go. So this is the Austin police... he lives in a wine barrel. No. Austin police stopped responding to non-emergency calls in October. So they will respond to treats, but not tricks. Just saying. We have to report those over 311. Okay, interim police. We will, in some cases where possible, dispatch our civilian property crime technicians, for example, if a piece of evidence needs to be collected. However, it's limited based on staffing considerations that we have in the area as well. Here it is. Calls will be considered non-emergencies include animal services, which is not... I mean, you call 311 and they call animal control anyways. Attempted theft of property. Somebody fails at doing it. That's not 911 because they tried and they left, I suppose, presumably. Burglary of a residence, vehicle, or business. So that's not an emergency. You just recognize, call 311. I have been burgled. They will send people to gather evidence, but they're not going to send over a squad car because the burglary happened. Crashes that do not require tow with no injuries as long as both parties have insurance, license, and not impaired. Okay, that's traffic issue. COVID-19 violations, sure. Verbal disturbances, prostitution. So, which is, I suppose, a good sign for Tucker.
I like wood, deeper
but,
and longer.
But I don't know if the prostitution, like who's calling 911 on prostitution? You know what I mean? Those women are back. I'm sure they're hookers. Sir, they're a cleaning crew. No, they're dressed too skimpy in their loose-fitting white jumpsuits and their masks and goggles. It's driving me crazy. Someone come down here. I'm a man, flesh and blood. I've only got so much that I can hold back. Theft, suspicious person or vehicle. Okay. Because they've been wasting a lot of time on this particular one, I'm guessing. And theft. Okay, so call 311. Somebody stole something. Cool. All right. Well, it's not an emergency because it's not an emergency. It's a crime. It's evidence of a crime. We'll send somebody over. But they're not going to race to your door for a burglary or theft that already happened. Not a squad car. Just saying. Wouldn't be them that would follow it up anyways. That'd be detectives, which is not emergency personnel. But whatever. Okay. So, but these are the services that that apparently the basic rule of government is that they must protect you from. There's a dog in my yard again. I think somebody stole my oak tree. Somebody broke into my trailer while I was gone. Are they there now? No. All right, we'll hang out. Crashes that don't require it. We're fine. You're fine. I'm fine. You're fine. Let's go. All right. COVID-19 violations of, I don't know what that is. Coughing on someone. Verbal disturbances. Yeah, non-physical altercations that are not emergencies. Prostitution. Again, she She took my money and did not properly provide services. Sir, hang up and call 311. All right. Suspicious person or vehicle. If that suspicious person or vehicle attacks someone or goes near attacking them, or they see a gun or something, they're like, I see a suspicious vehicle. What's suspicious? They're just sitting there. All right. Call 311. We'll be over there. We'll have somebody zip by when they have a half hour to kill listening to you yammer about how you don't like people parking and fucking on your street. And theft in the past tense. Okay, so there we go. All right. But it's the basic. It's part of the George Soros plan to stop the Austin police from responding to prostitution and theft.
Safe. Just go onto the website. Good luck there. So that's insane. People actually live in Austin and put forward a new ballot proposal to fix it. It's called Proposition A. It would hire more police officers like the ones they used to have. Oh, but wait. George Soros doesn't like that. George Soros doesn't live in Austin, but he'd like to destroy it. So an advocacy group that he has founded just dumped $500,000 into a campaign to defeat that measure.
Well, they've been talking about George Soros for the longest time.
Have you? I mean, maybe he has. I don't watch his shit enough. But usually, if we want to go to somebody that zeroes in on George Soros, Super Jew, cause of all Americans' problems, we basically have to just go to Glenn Beck. So I'm glad that Dan Bongino is somewhere between in the taint between Glenn Beck and Tucker Carlson.
Left tells me not to talk about George Soros. I had 2 more stories about George Soros every time the left writes an article trying to incentivize us not to talk about George Soros.
Oh, I'm not saying you shouldn't talk about George Soros. Knock yourself out. Just don't get me wrong. I just think you're a lunatic.
Because this is what I think of the left telling us what.
Oh, look at that. Oh, he's figured out he can swear on the air on the radio without getting, so he's giving the finger now. This is finally he's gotten as tough as he looks.
Do. Every time you tell us not to, we add 2 more stories. How does that sound? Maybe 3.
Yes, go for 3. Let's hear your 3 stories. I mean, you're don't threaten me with a good time. Let's hear it.
My friend Matt Palumbo, who writes at my website, has a book coming out about George Soros.
So he's an employee. Gotcha.
That is, I have seen the book. I've read the book. To call it eye-opening.
So it's a coloring book. Okay.
Statement of the year. Here's a picture of the cover of the book. If you're watching on Rumble, The Man Behind the Curtain. That's the title of the book. It's coming.
By the way, just for the record, I don't have a bone to pick with some complaints about Soros in that he made most of his money by shorting the British currency. It's not like he picked a good stock and became a billionaire. He basically fucked the British economy to make money because once he started shorting it, other people shorted it. That's what drove it down, and he made $1 billion plus, and he's been doing it ever since. You could argue that some of the stuff he's been doing around the world is like out of guilt at fucking the Bank of England and the British pound. But, you know, you'd have to meet him to find out if he actually felt any guilt about it. But he makes an excellent boogeyman for these guys.
Soon pre-order it now before we sell out again. We have had a massive amount of orders for this book.
Oh yeah. No. Oh, believe me, there's a huge anti-Semitic dollar in the country. Mwah, right?
The book is called The Man Behind the Curtain by Matt Palumbo. There's a picture of what it looks like on the cover now. It is all about Soros and what
is
Soros
it? I wouldn't guess that from the cover.
Is really, really up to.
What's he really?
Folks,
what's he really up to? Very exciting. Do they finally get to the bottom of where he got his Marxist education that would make him fund these things?
Just like Soros and others.
And others. You know, Soros, Walt Disney, Fred Rogers. You know, anybody who tries to help. Clearly a commie.
These leftist groups, why do they fight against the police and fund pro-crime measures like funding DAs who won't enforce laws? The left.
Why does the left fund? Let's see. Why would they? Let's see. What's a good? Because they secretly are the real racists, and they know that letting like black shooters out on the street with no bond and no cash bail is a great way to have them continue to kill within their communities, drive up the death rate. And it's not something they speak about openly. They just leave it to people like George Soros to do. Perhaps is that the one? Is that it?
It's chaos, folks. I can't say this to you enough. The left needs chaos. Why?
What? We need chaos? Then why? How can you have chaos and then seek to control every aspect of human life? How many times have we heard that the left wants to control everything? They want to control everything, but it's a controlled chaos. See what we did there? It's a bait and switch. We pretend we're for control, but we want chaos.
Be prosperous, safe group of people. Do not clamor for government control. They just want to be left alone, right?
So do we want control or chaos? I'm confused.
When you instill a sense of chaos and insecurity, people make bad decisions. They just...
I see. The Republicans are being tricked into desperately wanting security by the... Wait a minute. So they tricked them into wanting a DA that will prosecute by making sure there are more criminals on the street. And George Soros is funding the opposition to trick people into more control so that eventually... I'm getting dizzy. I think I'm getting dizzy. I'm okay.
I'm going to go back to the halcyon days of safety and security. And if government snake oil merchants come in and sell them big government as a solution to their economic and...
Oh, you mean a DA that's tougher on crime?
Security woes, right? People will take it. Chaos is the coin of the realm for the left. The left needs chaos to install their big government agenda. That's why they hate the police. That's why they like crime in the streets. That's why they like open access borders.
We like crime in the streets to fulfill our secret plan to police everyone by getting rid of the police.
Stuff. Crime and chaos. It is a way to incentivize people to give up their liberty. It always has been. It's no more complicated.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. Like the hugely liberal Patriot Act.
Than that. That's why they do this stuff.
Oh, I was always wondering why I did this stuff that I don't do. But now I know why I do the things that I don't do, because I don't want the things that I want done so that the things that I don't want done can be done. I mean, who could make that clearer than Dan Bongino, who's looking for DP for his bunghole? That's it. That's the whole thing. That's all of it. That's the proof that George Soros wants chaos in Austin. Because he gave a $500,000 to groups that are trying to fight. All right, maybe, hold on. No one's going to follow you or listen to you, Dan. Sorry, hold on. Soros group donates money, Austin. I don't know, measure or something like that. Let's see, here he goes. This is the Statesman, Austin Chronicle. Here you go. Okay, it's fine. No, I don't want to sign up for the daily briefing. Thank you. I don't need a t-shirt. This is what they're referring to. Billionaire activist George Soros gives $500,000 to oppose Austin police ballot measure. Austin's battle over police staffing ballot measure has a new heavyweight entering the ring. Billionaire financier and Democratic Party activist George Soros in a bombshell announcement that threatens to shake up the November 2nd election. A political action committee opposed to Proposition A, which if passed would require the city to hire hundreds of police officers, says it has accepted a $500,000 donation from Soros. The 91-year-old Soros of New York is known for supporting liberal and political. His net worth is $8.6 billion, blah, blah, blah. Soros has made recent focus target. Soros' son, Jonathan Soros, has recently been involved in Austin elections, contributing $25,000 this year to a PAC that tried to, but failed to move the city to a strong mayor form of government. Yeah, away from the city council. Let's see. Finance. Okay. According to the finance records published Friday, Soros transferred the $500,000 to Equity PAC on Monday through his Open Society Policy Center in Washington. That same day, Equity PAC accepted a donation for $200,000 from another reform minded organization in Washington, the Fairness Project. Both donations were the product of relationships cultivated by local activist groups, according to Laura Hernandez, the campaign manager for No Way on Prop A, the campaign associated with Equity PAC. This really allows us to talk to voters about the implications and how important it is we defeat this measure. We're thankful for the support. Neither donation will be included in the PAC's full campaign report because they were made after the deadline. That report is expected to immediately after news broke the donation. Save Austin Now, the PAC that got the police staffing measure on the ballot, made its own plea for donations through co-founder Matt Makowiak. In a tweet linked to donate, said national left-wing interests are trying to destroy public safety. Save Austin Now has trouble generating donations. Prior to the May election on the homeless camping ban, the PAC raised $1.9 million, a near record in a citywide election that trailed only a campaign funded exclusively by Uber and Lyft in 2016. Oh, has little trouble generating donations prior to the May election. Yeah. Help us ensure adequate policing staff. Okay, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't say are the... I'm trying to see if, like, this year to a PAC that failed to move. Yeah. Does it say anywhere in here? Let's see. Equity PAC. Okay. So let's find out about Equity PAC real quick. This is Equity PAC. Equity PAC MI. Texas. Well, it doesn't say Texas Equity PAC. It just says Equity PAC. Yeah. So Equity PAC is in Michigan. And Equity PAC it says no more business as usual, support equity-minded candidates. Momentum generating change, resource organization that pushes for equality is critical to better outcomes without people like, okay, blah, blah, blah. Endorsements, 2021 priorities. Priority criminal justice, environmental justice, local election positions, yada, yada. This sounds like the stuff that he gives grants to all the time. Events. Is there one in Texas? No events. Benefits and endorsement. Oh, it's in here. When's the date? Emily Kentwood, blah, blah, blah. These are commissioner, 2018 public forum. This is the Michigan one. Is there another variance of this? That's Equity PAC. Is there an Equity PAC overall? Uber Alles. This is their Facebook page. PAC profile generation equity. That's not saying progressive equity PAC. Black equity PAC. Texas equity. Let's check out Texas equity PAC. They have $4,000 on hand, so clearly that's not them. Donations. Donors, hold on. No records. Oh, it's because they came in after. Donations. Nope. Texas PACs. These are from total donations totally by the PAC name. And let's see. Scrolling down, let's see. Page 3, page 5, page 7, page 9, 12, 15. Where are we going? 17, you think? Equity PAC. Here we go. $120,000. There we go. So this is their financial activity. They got $68,000 on hand, 120 total contributions, not including the $500,000 that they allegedly got just now. Contributors. These are the people who gave to it. It's not listed on the expenditures. No loans. Related articles. Money behind the calendars committee chair. Lobbying case. City of Dallas, Texas. Blah, blah, blah. Support our work. Donate. There you go. Yeah, I mean, it just sounds like they do all of the above, and the criminal justice reform part of it is a theory of where they're spending the money instead of Soros just gave them that, and those folks support this. So Equity PAC is against this proposition. but Equity PAC does a dozen other things. So all the money, this is what Tucker and Dan are playing, this is the game they're playing, is that all the money that Soros gave to them to elect diverse candidates, work on criminal justice reform, change, egregious sentencing laws, whatever their main goals and all these things are, that none of that matters. What matters is the $500,000 that came from the Soros Open Society Foundation went straight to no more cops in Austin because they want to sow chaos. This is the cartoon. This is the cartoon they live in, because that's what they're left with. Fascinating and stupid.